Welcome back, ladies and jerks, to Lucid9, Part 2. I did another take of Part 2 earlier this week, and it was a fucking train wreck. So I get to do it over again. Oh, cool. I didn't even save it. That's how much of a train wreck it was. Right? I didn't just save it somewhere. Okay, good. So, onward. Okay. Oh, look at the little KFC guy. He's like a little Eggman. In the background, sitting on top of other things. Reading a book. All things considered, I'd rather not destroy my brain watching Governmecker. Might be a better idea to read a book. I rifle through my shelves, searching for a good book. The Many Adventures of Kunoichi. I remember this was my favorite book when I was a kid. I haven't read it in a while, though. Flip the book open, absorbing the lifelike print on the page. Hey, cool, it even made a page-turning noise. It narrates the story of a girl who wants to be a ninja. Admirable dreams. She starts off pretty low on the chain, a mere errand girl. She also has this big crush on a friend whom she's known since they were kids. Sound familiar? Chapter continues. Kunoichi ends up failing on even really simple errands, since her friend randomly starts hanging around her more and more. She tries to confess, but he's apparently totally oblivious to her feelings. Please, anyone could tell that he knew. He's just trying to... Well, time to study. Oh, the little KFC Eggman. I'm sorry, I dig through my backpack and crack open a few books. This year will probably be really intense with the entrance exam coming up and all. Might as well do a little work. It'll be more of a pain to deal with nagging teachers than the work itself. After engrossing myself for some time, I check the clock. It's 11. Good enough. Maybe I should apologize to Rui tomorrow. Indulge myself in our friendship. Let everything go back to normal. Selfish of me again. But maybe this time I should just be selfish. What was that? Oh, I thought we were going to see the Blood Boner Man from the beginning. Why is it so bright outside? What the... Why is it already 8:30? I leap to my feet, scrambling to pull my clothes on and tear out the door. Okay, prediction. Nighttime when I go to sleep, I wake up as another person and go out and harvest blood. It's kind of a weird thing. I'm not even a good student. In fact, I'm pretty much every teacher's nightmare. Being in a rush to get to school isn't like me. Maybe it's because there's a difference between choosing to ditch and ditching by accident. One's your conscious decision, and the other is, well, not. Highly descriptive, I know. I'm told my essays are a joy to read. By the time I actually enter the classroom, it's already 8:42. Wait. It's 8:30, so it took him 12 minutes to get to school. Impressive. The teacher glances at me from his periphery. Surprisingly enough, he doesn't try to humiliate me. In fact, he doesn't make a single comment. It's as if I wasn't late at all. This guy, or this... I stopped saying that. Elizabeth, on the other hand, is wearing a prominent glare as I slip into my seat. She keeps her mouth shut, but her face radiates with disapproval. Yahiko nudges my foot and gestures frantically. Dude! His voice spits out in a hurried whisper. I lean over to hear what he has to say. What? days to be late. You had to choose today? Why, was there a pop quiz? There was a pop quiz? Take that as a no. Dude, I'm talking about that cutie over there. You missed the intro earlier. He gestures vaguely to the back of the classroom. I sneak a peek when I'm sure that the teacher isn't looking. Hey. I find a girl sitting by the window. Head delicately turned against slender fingers as she examines something in the distance. In ordinary circumstances, I might have thought her to be gorgeous. After all, she matches the ideal of traditional beauty to a T. Silky hair, porcelain skin, delicate lips, the whole 9 yards. But instead, I only find myself thinking, what the hell? Promptly followed by who, what, where, when, why, how. Very intelligible, I know, but how else am I supposed to react when an old friend, whom I haven't seen in ages, just randomly walks back into my life? Not only that, but as a transfer student to my class on the very last year I happened to be there, her eyes snap to mine, but before I can catch her reaction, I quickly went back to the front of the classroom. Maybe I'm seeing things. Maybe it's not really her. There's no way it can be her. Right? I reluctantly tune my hearing back to the teacher. She seems to be in a very enthusiastic rant about technology. Surprise, surprise. This generation is wasting away over being glued to dead pixels every waking moment. Well, today, I'm not having any of these newfangled contraptions. We're returning to trusty pen and paper. As the class erupts into groans, he scribbles 3 words on the board with his stylus. Your dream job. They just won't give us a break, will they? Furthermore, the teachers deactivated our tablets and is currently handing out sheets of lined paper. Handwriting, really? As Yahiko passes As Yahiko passes the stack of paper to me, he leans close. So, what do you think? I think I'm tired of writing about my non-existent future. Huh? I was talking about the new girl. Oh, right, the new girl. Was her name Misaki Kazuhaya by any chance? Kazuhaya, wasn't that the name of the other guidance counselor? I don't know. How did you know? So it really is her. Never thought I'd see her again, much less in my own classroom. Oh, I know. You must have some sort of psychic ability. What? I mean, how else could you have known her name? Can you read her mind too? What does she think of me? How he came to that conclusion is beyond me. Nevertheless, it seems like an excellent opportunity to screw with him. It'd be a shame not to. Press my fingers to my temples, pretending to tune into Misaki's thoughts. Oh, I see. What? She has a huge crush on you. Really? But... Yahiko shakes his leg impatiently as I pause. Can you stop thinking for a second and keep getting interference? Huh? Oh, sorry. He scrunches his face in concentration. Now you're just thinking of not thinking. Whoa, you really can read minds. You doubt my abilities? No, I just... Shh, I'm getting something. Yahiko clamps his mouth shut. I rub my temples, mumbling under my breath. It seems she has a crush on you, but... she doesn't think you have the courage to talk to her. Yahiko puffs out his chest, as if he were presented with a challenge. Ha! As if anything can deter the great Yahiko Yagari from approaching such a beauty. What was I doing for him?
Yahiko, this is a writing prompt, not a discussion prompt. Focus on your own assignment.
It's gonna change literally every time the teacher comes up. Right, sorry, Teach. He immediately regains his composure, and thank God that awful music stopped, and starts scribbling messily on his composition paper. That was oddly quick. Take a quick glance around. My classmates are hunched over their desks, some writing furiously, some staring awkwardly into space. The most avid is Elizabeth, who's already on her second page, lips moving furtively as her arm blurs down the paper. I'm not surprised. She retains this naive belief that she can actually control her future. Can't wait for life to prove her wrong. Misaki, on the other hand, has completely thrown away any pretense of studiousness, choosing to text under her desk with one hand while simultaneously pretending to write with the other. It's pretty impressive, actually. Take a quick pinch on the arm to check my state of consciousness. Not dreaming, apparently. It's Misaki Kazehaya in the flesh. 5 minutes. Right, the assignment. What did he say? Dream job? Write a page? Stare at the prompt on the screen as if it'll provide an answer. Meh, I don't want to deal with this. Deftly set my pencil to paper and scribble my response. 1 page. As morning classes slug on, I feel a very prominent gaze burning into the back of my head. I refuse to turn around, trying to piece together my thoughts. Should I approach her or not? When the bell rings, Yahiko immediately tugs on my sleeve, his face shining.
Dude, I'm gonna go talk to her.
Who?
The new girl, of course.
She must be the shy princess type, waiting for a Prince Charming to sweep her off her feet. Who better than me to make that dream come true? I think you mean nightmare. Well, good luck with that.
You're not coming?
Why would I? Surely Yahiko Ikari wouldn't be suggesting that he needs help from me.
To learn, of course. I worry for you, my man. You may end up a spinster for your whole life. You haven't snagged a single date in all the time I've known you.
Well, neither of you, but I won't mention that. Or the fact that spinsters are exclusively female. I don't know what a spinster is.
So, are you coming?
I am, I guess. At the very least, this will be a chance for me to see what kind of person she's become. Yahiko swaggers over to the side of Misaki's desk, expertly raising a single eyebrow as he flips his hair out of his face. Why, hello there. I brace myself for a slap or a headlock in response. But Misaki only tilts her head quietly to the side, regarding him with a single arched brow. Can I help you? This appears to fluster Yahiko for a moment. Thankfully, he's not the school's best Casanova for nothing, which honestly really tells you about the quality of our Casanovas.
Actually, yes. Do you have a map?
Because before he can finish the sentence, Misaki's fingers whip around her phone with ease of long practice. In 3 seconds flat, she's pulled up a campus map on her screen and shoved it in front of his face. Here, where in particular are you looking to go?
Wait.
Oh, are you also a transfer student?
What?
That certainly would make much more sense. I was just thinking, it's a little strange that a student would be asking me for directions since I just transferred here. But I should have realized. You must feel the instant connection of a fellow transfer student. When did you come here?
Wait, this is a big misunderstanding. I'm trying to hit on you.
Oh, I see. 7 out of 10.
Huh?
I rated your approach. You didn't even introduce yourself.
You're right, how careless of me. I am the one and only Yahiko Ikari. Surely you've heard of me.
I highly doubt that. You wouldn't by any chance happen to be the Yahiko Ikari from Govermerker? Oh no, the president's aide? That Yahiko Ikari? Yahiko's chest practically doubles in size. Wait, what?
Indeed I am. Are you by chance a fan?
The biggest. I really enjoyed the political satire and the music is just amazing. This has gotta be a joke.
Did you know that our patter tag is one of the top trending?
Let's take a stab and say that patter is Twitter.
And Isamu Times has listed us as a viral phenomenon.
Viral for what reasons? Oh, there must be a different story. Congrats, I was sure that it would become a big hit.
But of course, even the stars themselves are no match for an Ikari.
Or the moon.
Oh yeah, guess what my next dream is?
Is it
to build a vacation home on the moon? Yes.
a vacation home? I wonder what would happen if you jumped... wait. Yeah, I wonder what would happen if you jumped on a trampoline while on the moon. How high could you go?
I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna test it.
Yahiko and Misaki are new besties, apparently. Which is nothing short of absolutely terrifying. Meanwhile, I'm being completely ignored. Maybe she doesn't recognize me? Hey, Miki. She tilts her head in my direction, eyes bright. Hi. Do I know you? Wait, what? She doesn't remember? Come to think of it, she hasn't spared me a single word or even a glance. She doesn't... How could she not? It's Yama. Yama Ishimoto?
He's my minion.
I'm sorry, I don't think we met. Oh, you have got to be kidding. Childhood friends, 4 years ago. You, me, Rui, we all hung out together.
What?
Total blankness. She's honestly forgot. Words start pouring out of my mouth as I frantically search for something to get a reaction out of her. We all lived in Seto, small town, 3 hours drive away. Yes, no. I'm sorry, I don't think... We all played together, we were inseparable. We met at the festival, the one with the lanterns. Misaki's expression gradually turns from polite to more and more skeptical. Of all ways I imagined we'd reunite, this was definitely not at the top of the list.
Do you really not remember?
I'm really very sorry. This can't be it. Rui and I bawled our eyes out after she left. We hovered by the phone for hours, waiting for a single call. When nothing came, we even resorted to hovering by the mailbox in the vain hope that we'd receive some sort of snail mail. Is she saying that during that time, that 1 month, which turned into 6, which turned into a year, which turned into 4 years, she's just forgotten us? How could that be possible? Unless... By any chance, you haven't gotten into a tragic car accident and ended up with amnesia, have you? That's why you haven't called? Not in 4 years? She backs away slowly, eyeing me like I'm an insane psychopath. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. I wore a kimono. You really don't remember. She stops at that, a flash of recognition catching her eyes. Got her. I wore a No. I wore a Hello Kitty kimono and ran around calling you a tooth fairy. Even the background chatter stops. You did? Second thought, really should have talked to her with no one else in the classroom. I was a kid, but you wore a kimono and called her the tooth fairy. Well, yeah, but about time you admitted it, Yama. I'm struck speechless at as the situation begins to dawn on me. You know who I am. Know you? How could I not? It's only been 4 years. Then you were faking it, of course. Why were you pretending that not... Bleh. Why were you pretending not to notice me earlier? I knew you'd recognize me. Well, it's not every day you see an old friend who just decides to disappear one day. She stops at that flicker of irritation crossing her eyes at my cutting tone. It's not like I wanted to leave Seto, Yama. So why did you? My mother didn't leave me with much of a choice. You mean Satomi? She nods. Could have at least told us you were moving. I couldn't. I wait for an elaboration, but it never comes. That's it? You just couldn't tell us? Why not? Do you mind if we talk about it later, Yama? I'm not very comfortable discussing it in class. I open my mouth to object, but something about Misaki's expression prevents me from pursuing the issue further. Where the hell is my stuff? Yeah. She genuinely seems distraught. Wait. Yama wore a Hello Kitty kimono and called Misaki the Tooth Fairy? Luckily, Yahiko manages to change the subject. Decide to play along for the time being. Where the fuck are my things? God, I only have so many pockets. Want my... Give. Last one. Wait. Aha! Sorry. Fucking... There. I was a little kid, damn it. I hear excuses, all excuses. It's not an excuse, there's a legitimate explanation. I somehow fell and got my yukata dirty. I don't know what a yukata is. And it was at the festival. And we weren't really close to home. And Miki had an extra kimono. A Hello Kitty kimono. Yes. Kimono is like a gown or something. Somehow, having Yahiko mock me just makes the entire thing 10 times worse. I cast a half-pleading, half-indignant glare at Misaki, who only shrugs in response. Oh, fuck. It isn't my fault you enjoy cross-dressing. I don't. If I only had Twitter at the time, I would have taken a photo. Wait. So what is this patter you keep mentioning? Judging by the reactions I'm getting, I've just committed a huge faux pas. You don't know what Twitter is? Where have you been living your whole life? Under a rock? Well, technically that's what my name would imply. Now I have to look up what Yama means in Japanese. What? Is it like the Secret Service database or something? Far more important. It's the most popular social networking website in today's society. I really question your priorities. Through Twitter, you share posts with 90 characters or less, which used to be 140 and I think it's 280 now. Increased it recently. It allows you to spread important news, demonstrate your support, provide instant feedback to questions, or just blog about your day.
Govermecker got big because of Twitter.
As for me, I like to give updates on the progress of my day.
Okay, fine, but does anybody actually care?
Sudden deathly chill pervades the room. My second major faux pas of the day. People care.
Are you sure?
'Cause the way I see it, tapping 2 buttons doesn't exactly make you... They care, damn it! Don't say nothing until you pat yourself.
I guess that would be tweet yourself.
Don't say nothing? Intense? Misaki? Wait, what? There it is.
Oh wait, that's just a ring. But the conversation grinds to a halt when Misaki's phone trills under her hand. Something, I just wanted to make it stop ringing.
Kazuhaya speaking. Yes, understood. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Shuts the call and shoves her phone into her pocket,
looking me square in the eye. I must go. Duty calls.
Duty? What kind of duty?
My employer has a job for me.
Job? Now? What about school?
Oh, I'm sure they'll excuse this one. Let's talk again later, Yama. Oh, and make sure to bring Rui, okay? Bye. And like a tornado, stalking its next target, she blazes out of the room. I'm left completely dumbfounded with the Yahiko who's dancing around the room like he's just won his mansion on the moon. I have a fan! I have an actual fan! A real fan! I wonder how long it'll take before I can pledge her to my service as my first true minion. I wordlessly leave him in his fantasy of world domination and head to the cafeteria. It's more out of routine than actually feeling hungry. Shock of running into an old friend after 4 years might have something to do with that. Maybe I should be angrier at Misaki. But at the same time, who knows what happened to her and her mom. She seemed pretty uncomfortable talking about it. At least she's here now. I guess that's all that matters. If Misaki wants to tell me, and she will on her own time. Cafeteria is broad and beautiful, boasting polished surfaces and tidy, well-lit spaces. Modern furniture settles well on the brushed mahogany floor. This writer has a thing for mahogany. Students in pristine uniforms travel to and fro, scooping food from their extensive buffet counters around the perimeter of the cafeteria and returning to their friends. I spot Rui in the back corner of the cafeteria, staring up to the skylights with a thoughtful tilt to her head. Actually, this would be a perfect time to tell her about Misaki. Rui would be thrilled to see her again. Hey, Rui. She jumped slightly at the sudden sound, and only then do I remember that I'm supposed to be apologizing for being dramatic yesterday. Except I've never been great at apologizing, or even good, or actually even mildly passable. Say, how are you? I'm doing okay. How was class? Sorry, all my female voices are gonna be the same. It was okay, I guess. Oh, okay. We shuffle for a moment and I finally clear my throat. About yesterday. It's okay, Yama. I know that seeing the bus must have brought up some memories. You were just lashing out. But I shouldn't have. No, I guess not. So next time something like this happens, I reserve the right to slap you silly. Oh, her tongue is sticking out. Just like that, everything's right between us. What have I done to deserve a friend like this? Thanks. But buy me lunch. What? Oh, come on, it's only fair. If I go into debt, I'll blame you for constantly mooching off of me. Are you ever gonna pay for your own food? Probably not. But you can't count those grocery trips because I ended up cooking everything for you. And yourself. Labor tax. Let's go already, I'm hungry. So am I. But just as she reaches forward and pulls my arm to her side, we hear a very familiar voice from behind us. Well, 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 what have we here? Teacher Man! We jerk around in synchronization and promptly come face to face with Mr. Ryuta. Rui quickly squeaks and jumps away, suddenly bashful, because we were holding hands. Oh, hi, Mr. Ryuta. Look at you two. The adorable childhood friends finally getting together after years of unnecessary drama. Bah, I feel sick. What is this, some crappy anime? What? We're not together. I wouldn't go out with Yama in a million years. It's actually really adorable. I struggle to maintain a straight face. I know, I'm just too good for you. She snaps back into the Rui that the rest of the academy knows her as. Witty, confident, and a touch malicious. She opens her mouth, no doubt to smite me with some comeback or another, but Mr. Ryuta breaks it up. Well, if I don't end up barfing my guts out, you guys will have the most adorable wedding in all of history. And there goes Rui. How can you say something like that, Mr. Ryuta? You're a teacher, you should know better. Oh, come on. You two will look back on this day, mark my words. With a cheerful wave, splits to the faculty express line. Those words sound fairly ominous. I can already imagine all the embarrassing stories he'd liberally share with the other wedding guests. We'd probably have so many people rolling in the aisles from laughter that really wouldn't even be able to walk properly. What the hell am I even thinking about? Wedding? Rui? Mr. Ryuta's being his usual self, I see. Yep. Now he's got me thinking about... Nope. Fuck. Not going there. Maybe now would be a good time to switch topic. Oh, right, I even have the perfect material. Hey, Rui, you're not gonna believe this, but I saw Miki today. Rui's face cuts to complete blankness in the space of a millisecond. It is really shocking news. Maybe I should have eased it a bit. She even ended up transferring to the school, and we coincidentally wound up in the same class. Dead silence. Finally start to feel a prickle of apprehension. We can hang out together again. We can... Did you talk to her? What? Of course, it's Miki. Really, what's wrong? Aren't you happy? Well, no, I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, she has nothing to do with either of us anymore. Don't you remember? We were kids who held a stupid grudge for something beyond our control. Come on, we're older than that now. Oh, are we? She didn't really apologize, did she? Well, pause for a moment. Rui's expression immediately darkens. I see that she didn't, and I know why. Because she wasn't there to see you fall apart. I don't think you remember, Yama, but you were in a really bad place after she left. Even to the point where, you know. But that wasn't because of Misaki. Yeah, but she triggered the whole thing. It's just, when I think about it, I get mad at her. Really mad. So it's probably best for both her and me if she stays away. So you're not gonna be friends again? The thought is so baffling, I can't help but stutter. In my mind, we'd always been a package deal. Me, Rui, Misaki, it was either all or nothing. I mean, you're your own person, so you should hang out with whoever you want. But I can't be buddy-buddy with Misaki until she realizes what she's done. Never thought Rui, of all people, would be irrational. How bad had I been exactly? I've never seen Rui so upset, at least not in a really long time. Sorry to be a downer. Why don't we just grab some lunch? How about you go on ahead? I need to talk to Mr. Ryuta. Okay. Surprisingly, she doesn't ask me any more questions. She heads to the lunch line without a word. Oh. Maybe she also feels rotten inside, like something has been lost forever. I shake these thoughts and immediately locate Mr. Ryuta. He's just popped out of the faculty line and, conveniently enough, heading in my direction. He watches our separation with an eyebrow raised to his hairline. Oh? Are the newlyweds already running into trouble? I like how those books are just haphazardly under his arm, like they look like they're gonna fall any second. I ignore this. Good timing, Mr. Ryuta. I wanted to ask you something. If the question is whether to officially ask Rui out, the answer is yes. What? No. No, that's not the question. Oh, really? That's a bit boring. Rui and I aren't... You know what, never mind. I was wondering what it means when you see someone you haven't seen forever who you thought disappeared off the planet. It means exactly what you just said. Your life actually is a crappy anime. I never said that. Oh, you didn't? Mr. Ryuta? Sorry, can't help it. Now, who's this person you haven't seen in forever? She just transferred into my class this morning. Rui, her, me, we were really close when we were little, back in our hometown Seto. Transfer student? Childhood friend? Don't even think about it. Too late. My life is not a crappy anime. It's not. You're right. It's a really crappy anime. So what's the problem? Well, I talked with her, and I think we'll be friends again, but Rui is jealous. What? No, what is this, junior high? Sorry, I'll shut up. See, when Misaki, the transfer student, left, she accidentally triggered a giant depressive state that basically left me in the dumps for a year. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. Rui claims it was bad. Yama, when can you come to my office today? I want to listen properly to you. The cafeteria is not exactly an ideal environment. Well, I guess that Mr. Ryuta got hired into his job for an actual reason. Okay. Guess I'll drop by after school. Or during, really. Either way works. Now off to lunch, you. Gotta eat before the bell rings. Young, growing boys need all the nutrition they can get. He can't sound like the wise, all-knowing teacher when he just implied it was fine for me to ditch school. See you later, Mr. Ryuta. He only responds with a casual wave before he saunters over to the nearest table, chatting easily with a group of students. I snag a plate of food and search for Rui, but she's nowhere in sight. Guess that conversation took a little longer than I originally intended. I quickly scarfed down my food and returned to the classroom. What the... Alright.
Alright, class, let's take secondary roll before we head to the courtyard. What? We have more PE? Teacher's halfway through rolling her eyes before she catches herself. I guess it's not a good example to roll your eyes in front of your students. No, Yahiko. Today's career day, as had been announced over the PA for the past 3 days. Afternoon classes are cancelled so that third years may explore possible future occupations with specialists. Oh, right. Questions of the future, writing prompts about our dream job, and now career day. I'm sensing a pattern. We're already running a little late, so let's make this quick. Anyone missing? Nope. Prompts us to glance around.
I think he's right, ma'am. Everyone's here.
Everyone except Misaki, who's apparently is at her job. Time to do some not-so-subtle recon. Teacher? Where's that girl? The one sitting by the window? Or who was sitting by the window? The teacher waves her hand dismissively. Special circumstances. Oh, this is a female teacher.
Special circumstances. Anyone else?
Despite myself, I feel a prick of curiosity. Special circumstances? What kind of circumstances would warrant such an offhanded dismissal from the teacher? I thought most teachers hated making exceptions for mandatory events. Just what could Misaki's job be? As the teacher continues to survey the classroom, I feel a nudge against my arm. I'm surprised you brought it up. What? Usually you wouldn't say anything even if you noticed. You would have thought it to be too much trouble. Her words are remarkably neutral. It's awkward. It feels like a trap. I think you should stop pretending like you actually know me. Or that you have a brain. You're insufferable. She stomps to the back of the room in a huff. Yeah, telling someone they don't have a brain is like juvenile as hell. I'm insufferable? She's done far, far worse. And she's judging me? What a hypocrite.
Alright, looks like everyone else is here. To the courtyard. Destiny awaits.
There are more than a few rolled eyes, but everyone obediently files out of the classroom. Our class pours into the courtyard, which currently resembles a crowded street market. Columns of booths are set in orderly lines, each attempting to outshine the other with progressively more and more outrageous signage and progressively louder music. I wonder if they've got a booth for my future job. Come to think of it, in all the 203 times he's talked about his dream, he never once mentioned his future job, just all the stuff he'll have. Oh? What might that be? Isn't it obvious with my stunning looks and all? So, a trash can? Is that even a job? Of course it's a job. Oh. Well, no, I want to be a model. That's Wait, it's not as silly as it seems. I mean, seeing how he just believed being a trash can was a profession, he can't have a job that requires him to think. Hang on a sec. You know what? It's more the chatter that's bugging me, I think. Seeing as how he just believed that being a trash can was a profession, he can't have a job that requires him to think. He also can't have a job that requires social interaction. He'd just repel people instead of attracting them. Those are his two biggest flaws, and modeling doesn't need either. As for his looks, I hate to admit it, but he's not so bad looking. Probably be able to land himself a girlfriend if he could just keep his mouth shut. almost sounds like a serious plan. Yahiko, my friend, I'm glad you finally realized the cruel truth. What are you talking about? I'm just saying that's a good idea, especially coming from you. Isn't it though? Once I become famous, the entire world will be able to witness my magnificence. I'll be on TV, the internet, advertising blimps, basically everywhere. Second thought, maybe it's a terrible idea. Well, if you don't mind me, I'm off to meet my destiny. Damn, he left quick. And with that, he skips off into the crowd, leaving me awkwardly leaning against the wall like some kind of delinquent. I'm not really sure what to do. I'd be wasting my time if I look around, but I'll be wasting my time if I stay here. What a conundrum. You there! I turned to the source of the voice. A man in a medical coat, standing in front of his booth, boasting the holographic sign, Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, Hospital Division. Hunch. I guess he's a doctor. Are you interested in becoming a doctor? Bodies, open wounds? Yeah, no. Sorry, I don't think I could deal with the pressure of being a doctor. If that's what you're worried about, then don't worry. I'm a heart surgeon, and I get an entire team of people helping me during the operations. Well, if I have people helping me... Scalpel, please. Nah. What do you mean, nah? I thought I was supposed to do all the cutting this time. It doesn't matter. It sure does. I see what's going on here, man. You want to take all the credit. Well, guess what? That ain't happening. What are you talking about? I'm the doctor. Doctor, the patient's in critical condition. If you don't act fast, he's going to die. Patient is dying, goddammit. Give me the scalpel. Whoa there, don't be getting your scrubs in a bunch. Doctor, the patient is dead. See, look at what you did. Look at what I... Yeah, I don't think being a doctor's right for me. Are you sure? We've got a great internship program. I'm good. Thanks, though. Another nearby booth catches my eye. A multicolored sign claims that it's from the National Education Institute. Behind the booth table, a tall woman in glasses is speaking animatedly to a small group of students. Don't you feel like it's... bleh. Don't you feel like we have a duty to equip the next generation? In this society, knowledge is power, and we need to ensure that our successors have the power to move forward. My job's the best and most beneficial there is, and there are no downsides whatsoever. Yeah, I've been there, heard that. Don't your students annoy you? Tire you out? Well, I've had some ups and downs in my career, of course. The more difficult students may be perplexing at first, but when you persevere, you'll always end up getting those students back on the right path. Bullshit. Is that so? Teach, what's 5 plus 7? This is high school, Mr. Ikari, not primary school. You should have mastered addition by now. But teach... Excuse me, Miss Kurogane? Smoking is not permitted on campus. Hand those over. Wait, Mr. Kurogane? What's he doing smoking? He's an athlete. You ain't the boss of me, kid. Kid, I'm your teacher. You're shorter than me, kid, and that makes you a kid. Alright, that's it. You're staying after class. You've got detention to serve. Says who? Says you? You couldn't even take out a diseased chicken with one claw tied to its tail. Why can't you be that eloquent on your essays? Teacher! What's wrong? Are you crying again? What for? Oh, are you angry at me? I'm sorry, I'm so terrible. I can't. Hey, don't cry. Oh my lord. Yeah, I don't think I have enough patience to deal with students. Meander down the row of booths. apathetically peering at any that seemed mildly entertaining. One man with a remarkably bushy mustache raises his fist in the air, yelling at the top of his lungs, "Do you love Japan? Join the Japan Self-Defense Force today!" Wow. Thought those kinds of die-hard patriots only existed on TV. Any man who's able to follow orders can be a hero of Japan. Yeah, if you're still alive. Grenade! Cover it, soldier. What? But we could just run away. Jump on that grenade, or I'll have you court-martialed for insubordination. But I'll die. All the better. Hop to it. Yeah, not happening. I'll turn away from the booth. Everything I see is equally unpromising. Do you have a knack for cooking? Why not apply to Lian Culinary School? Because gather here, engineers, mathematicians, fellow countrymen. The biggest digital corporation in the world, Lemniscate, has positions open for you. Have you always wanted to help the hurting? Join us at Cumulus Therapy Center. That wasn't a period. Join us at the Cumulus Therapy Center and transform the world, one life at a time. Quick glance at the other directions revealed that I seemed to be the only one having trouble. Wait, who's that? Oh, right. I find Elizabeth in deep conversation with a police officer just a few feet away. Wouldn't have thought her to be the type. Maybe she's sucking up to them so they'll lay off her for corporate fraud. The brown-haired girl just like her little cheering squad. Meh, I can't really judge her. At least she found something she's interested in. Me, on the other hand, well, I have nothing. What's up? Can't find your life's calling? Huh? I turned to the source of the voice. A scraggly man slumped against a rickety folding chair. A worn beanie plopped onto his head and a threadbare coat thrown over his shoulders. There's no sign on his booth. Is hobo a legitimate career? Ha! Youngsters these days. You hold your future in your own hands and you don't even know what to do with it. You're lucky, you know. There was a time when people didn't have the luxury of choosing their career. Upon second glance, I noticed there are several rolling racks of books settled in the back of the booth. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to their genre. Science fiction, mystery, fantasy, young adult. But they're all under the same name. Are you a writer? Smiles when I ask him this. What, surprised? Who'd you think I was? An adventurer? Globetrotter? Wait. It actually had him titled as a hobo. Now that we know he's a writer, it says that he's a writer. Globetrotter? Homeless guy, actually. He throws back his head and laughs. You've got life. I can't wait to read your stories. Somehow, I don't think being a writer would fit me. Oh, somebody help me. Whatever shall I do? Fear not, generic damsel in distress. I'm the hero. I lost the previous battle, so this is the heroic rematch where I'm guaranteed to win. How fortunate. After you win this final battle, I shall bestow you with an obligatory smooch of victory. Hey, you can't just ignore the villain. I got your girl, Yama. Oh, spare us with your evil gloating. It'll only lead to your downfall. But I gotta... Give a motive rant so we'll understand your identity as a tragic villain? Nah, I'll put that as a footnote. Okay, I tire of this needless banter. I've actually written the princess's backstory so that she's a badass in distress. What? But you didn't even foreshadow that. Too bad, I need to move the plot forward. Hey-ya!
No! Dude, he should be a writer. Wait, what'd he say? Yeah, I don't think I could come up with original material. That's why you just rip off real life, you know? Thanks, but no thanks. He shrugs apathetically as I walk away. Okay, this is right about where I stopped reading and said, you know what? I should record this. So from here on, I am blind as to what's going to happen. A nearby small group of students catches my eye. They've gathered in front of a man in a long, sweeping lab coat. Although his voice is placid, there lies an undercurrent of power in every word he says. Life is a fragile thing. There is an unspeakable number of ways for the human body to fail, and even more for it to be broken. Death was accepted as an inevitable part of life, a natural stage in the cycle of this world. But it doesn't have to be that way. Is this guy for cyborgs? The man in the lab coat straightens. The man in the lab coat straightens as the students break into hurried whispers. Through research, we can create medicine that fights diseases and treats disorders, extending our lives exponentially, maybe indefinitely. So he's a medical researcher. He fixes his gaze on each individual in the crowd, not in a hostile manner, but certainly in an unnerving one. A day may come where we can defy death. His eyes land on me. The intelligent arc of his brow and the commanding line of his jaw shifts slightly as he examines me. I feel frozen beneath his piercing gaze. It isn't exactly uncomfortable, just strange. Is he the blood boner man from the beginning? Eventually, he turns away, adjusting the golden glasses that are settled on the bridge of his nose. No, those are black. Those are black glasses on his face. If you seek to make a lasting influence on the world, join us at Way Forward Pharmaceuticals in the Research Division. Together, we can accomplish the impossible and prevent the inevitable. A crowd of students break into applause, their faces agape in wonder. I can only scoff. No one can defy death. Anyone who thinks otherwise is just delusional. Although, this is the only guy who they gave, an image of. Everybody else was just a voice. As I turn away from the Way Forward booth, the PA hums to life. Attention students, Mayor Inori will be speaking at the center stage in 5 minutes. The students around me gasp audibly, breaking into frantic whispers. Mayor Inori? Here in person? Our school's important, you know. Why wouldn't he come? Fuck. Come on, let's get a good spot. I follow the massive throng of students gathering around the courtyard center stage. Oh. Is this the mayor? Sure enough, Masaru Inori, the ever-popular mayor of Isamu, is in the flesh. He gives the students a cordial wave from behind an impenetrable line of security guards. You know, back in my day when dinosaurs roamed the earth, this extracts a laugh from the crowd. Immediate dislike of this man. We always ditched career day. We pop over to GFC. You should have seen it before it was renovated and stuffed ourselves on wings. There were only double S's at the time. Shows you how far we've come as a society, huh? The crowd chuckles again. Among them, I catch the distinct tint of Elizabeth's giggle. As usual, she's eagerly jotting notes on her phone, hanging on the mayor's every word.
brunette girl who's always around Elizabeth is also next to her. Surprisingly, she seems equally engrossed in this speech. And yes, I hated career day. Thought it was all a waste of time. Though thought that they were restraining me at a time when all I wanted to do was explore myself. Who I was, who I wanted to be. But later, I realized that I was thinking about career day in the complete wrong way. It wasn't about deciding my future. It was about exploring possibilities. Allows a moment of thoughtful silence before he continues. You just reworded the same thing. The truth is, you'll probably change careers multiple times in your life. In fact, the average number of job changes is estimated to be 15 times. Yeah, but jobs maybe, but not careers or lines of work. Typical politician, man. You could be in med school all your life, but have experience in construction, woodworking, design, architecture, statistics, engineering, maybe even ostrich babysitting or bicycle fishing. Bicycle fishing. Elizabeth smiles into her hand as the students laugh, like a perfectly timed trip, like a perfectly timed track. But as vast as the future is, you know what you don't want to do. But as vast as the future is, you do know what you don't want to do. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to go each day full of insecurities, doubts, fears. You don't want to be lied to or backstabbed or treated like a fake. I won't lie to you, it's a nasty world out there. But I think we can all agree that regardless of who we are or where we're from, we each have an important part to play in the safety of this country. So go on, explore. You guys are bright. And hey, you guys are in a better spot than I was. I thought I'd like nothing more than to become an anthropologist. Not that even I knew what that meant at the time, it just sounded cool. His parting sentence elicits another laugh as he steps off the stage, offering a final wave. Students erupt into cheers in response. I do not like that man. I don't know why. Just rubs me the wrong way. I quickly shuffle away from the crowd before the noise overwhelms me. I don't want to like this guy. Heck, I don't want to like any politician. But he seems to be less evil than the others I've seen. Don't even get me started about the lesser of two evils fallacy. Furthermore, he made a good speech. Came across intelligent but genuine. Two major opposites of politics. Maybe I'll vote in his re-election. Maybe. Hello, stranger. Oh? Wait. No. See, I didn't want to say her secret job was a prostitute. And then she comes out of nowhere in a kimono. But what could be important enough to take you away from school? Whatever, let me stop speculating and just find out. I abruptly stop in my tracks, finally taking in what she's wearing. Well, you're dressed up, which is putting it lightly. She's draped in a silken kimono that ripples around her figure like water, hair inset with a minimalistic ribbon and crystal pin. Is it though? She could own the red carpet, or a throne even, with that outfit. Pretty. My mind supplies unhelpfully. I quickly grind that part of my mind back to dust. Wait a... How do I make her do that again? I guess I can't. I don't know, I felt like her entire body shifted. Is that all you have to say? Well, what were you expecting, poetry? Oh, dearest, you liken yourself to starlight, with eyes like the moon and a mouth like the purest golden flame that the sun e'er did see. She promptly smacks me on the back. Very funny, Shakespeare II. Although I am impressed. Your recitation was pretty decent. I feel like she's insulting me, but genuinely seems shocked. So what brings you here? Do you want to become a model? What? Oh, no need to be embarrassed. Male models are hardly anything new. However, they do tend to be physically fit. Do you happen to have a six-pack? I'll pretend I heard none of that. What makes you think I'd ever want to be a model? You're standing by my company's booth. We are a modeling company. Okay, I guess, half right. Surprised, I cast a quick glance behind her. Sure enough, a large banner reads Lotus Modeling above a tent with striking photo spreads. Okay, so she got to get out of school to set up for this. Alright. I got it. Hence the kimono, I assume. You assume correctly. So where's Rui? I haven't seen her all day. That awkward moment when... really? That's funny. She attends the school, right? What? Of course she does. So you've seen her today? Well, yeah. Is she gonna come out of nowhere? Is she gonna join us? You didn't tell her about me? Hello, social drama. I missed you. Not. How can I word this delicately? Or better yet, avoid it completely. You should be getting back to your job. I have my eye on you, Yama. Really think I can't tell when you're lying? Ooh. I believe in my ability to run away. Always the same, I see. I've made a mental note to harass you about it later. Until then, Yama. She floats back to her booth, greeting any curious glances with an effortless smile. Hey, that's another reason for them to be all buddy-buddy. Her job is modeling, because he wants to be a model too. Somehow, I find that a little underwhelming. I almost expected her to be involved in something drastic, like the Secret Service, or the film industry, or even the Olympics. But modeling, where you pose, and change, and smile for hours and hours. Adventurous, stubborn Miki? Doesn't seem to fit her. Whatever, this is none of my business anyway. It's time to see Mr. Ryota. Oh, cool. This time he opens the door as I knock. Must have caught him at a good time. Welcome, Ishimoto. We've been expecting you. He cackles maniacally and taps his fingertips together. You should have turned in your chair while stroking a cat. Bah, everyone's a critic. Would you have rather been left standing outside in the cold? Outside? I'd be in the hallway. You seem awfully eager to prove your mentor wrong, boy. Wait, what? Well, whether I prove it or not, it's still wrong, right? Yes. That would never fly in a court of law, you see. Imagine it. I declare the defendant guilty. Because from a metaphysical standpoint, it is true, even if we have no epistemological link or of knowing so. Just lost you.
I get that a lot. Go ahead and take a seat. We've got more important things to discuss now. See, when you said we've been expecting you, I thought that, like, she was gonna be in the room also. Hesitantly, I slide into the nearest couch. I've always seen Mr. Rio as an intelligent man, even if laid back, but never actually, well, not understood him. I wonder how much brain mass is hiding behind that cheery facade. So, the new transfer student, Misaki Kazuhaya. I hope you don't mind, I did a little lookup on her. You can do that? Well, there's no explicit rule saying I can't use the confidential database. I'm pretty sure that there is. Nope. I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that teachers have to request special permission. I checked the loopholes. Well, good on you. Something feels wrong about this. What did you find out? Well, if I tell you, then that's a solid breach of confidentiality. I don't want to go to jail yet. Food's too good here. Mr. Ryota, I really worry about you sometimes. And this is me talking. So instead, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, Yama. How did you two meet? And you mentioned she left? Yeah. Flashback? I close my eyes, letting the ever-constant hum of the air conditioner calm my nerves. Then I start talking. It's practically subconscious. My mouth dutifully repeats the train of thoughts running through my mind. Everything is calm, clear, slow. Therapy. It's something I've gotten used to over the years. So I easily turn my brain to the topic of interest. Misaki Kazuhaya. I met her when I was young. Not too young. A baby still forming thought patterns and ideas about the world. But young enough to be highly impressionable. Ooh. It had been on a day when I thought nothing could make me smile. Not the vibrant lanterns strewn between the roofs of multicolored booths. Not the festive rhythm of the taiko drummers urging on the parade of light-bearing dancers. Not the stage in which a variety of nutritionally questionable foods were being served. Not even Rui. Rui, who dragged me out of the house despite my best efforts to stay miserable. It was only around an hour into the festival, but I was ready to go. When Rui went to the bathroom, I seriously considered ditching her and going back to my room. Apparently I was scowling, deeply at that. I didn't know it until a passing girl suddenly stopped in front of me. Does your face always look like that? To say the least, it didn't help my foul mood. I glared up at her. She was pretty. Well, that was the first thought in my head. An instinctive spark of appreciation whenever a guy sees a pretty girl, no matter how much he wants to feel otherwise. Her hair was braided back into an elegant half updo. Light ebony curls framing her porcelain face. Big eyes, long lashes, pointed chin. That kind of traditional beauty you might see in a kimono commercial. Of course, the first spark of interest was immediately overridden by indignance that only an 8-year-old boy could feel. What are you looking at? Don't look so grumpy, you should be celebrating. She didn't know anything, of course, not until a few months later. Festivals are stupid. They are not. Why? There isn't even a reason to celebrate. Girl's face twisted into something resembling anger. It looked strange on her face, like a guinea pig attempting to seem menacing. You don't even know what the festival's about, do you?
Oh, of course I didn't. I wasn't going to admit that. Of course I do. Oh yeah? What's it about? Well, you make lanterns. Uh-huh. And? I fisted my hands at her condescending tone. You write wishes on 'em and stuff. Wrong. Am not. Yeah, you are. You don't write wishes. You write what you want to tell dead people. Ridiculous, I should have said. Why would I even want to talk to dead people? But I didn't mock it. I couldn't mock it. Dead people? Yep. I can write a message to Auntie on this lantern and she'd see it. How do you know that? Haven't you heard the story? No, I hadn't. My 8-year-old pride prevented me from saying that. Thankfully, the girl took my silence as confusion. Well, once upon a time, there was a princess. Was she pretty? Yeah. She good at singing? Yeah. Boring. It is not boring. The indignant anger on her face made me snicker. First time I'd smiled all day. Yeah, well, what happens? Does she get in trouble and a charming princess to save her? Would you just listen? Look, she's actually a big meanie. A mean princess. That wasn't a fairy tale staple. Oh? Yep. But her bodyguard was in love with her and turned her good again. I felt disappointed. The story had a promising start. Bleh. What did he do? Cast a spell? Give her true love's kiss? He died. Oh. Don't look so happy. That time I broke into a tiny laugh. But it made her good again, right? Well, yeah. She didn't trust anyone before. Thought they were all fake and stuff. It seemed that she was glaring at me to the point of... Oh. It seemed that she was glaring at me at that point of the story, but before I could open my mouth, she was already continuing. Anyway, the bodyguard sacrificed himself to save her life. So the heavens were super duper impressed and put him in the stars. Aren't stars really, really hot? Sounds like a bad thing. Childish indignation flickered across her face. They made him into a constellation, you poop. Bleh. Bleh times infinity. Bleh times infinity plus 1. Anyway, the princess realized how beautiful true love really is. The princess realized how beautiful love really is. Because he died? She saw how much he loved her, so she decided to be a better person and trust people again. This had nothing to do with writing messages to the dead on lanterns. I was rapidly losing interest. Let me guess, she lived happily ever after? Well, no, the bodyguard died, remember? I like this bodyguard. She glared at me, but somehow it felt less severe than before. She wrote her promise on a lantern and sent it up to the sky so he could see. Because he was a constellation, remember? Now, I realized I could have said a lot of things. That's stupid, he's dead, what could he do about it? But that wasn't on my mind at the time. Everyone turns into a bunch of stars when they die? I think? You think or you know? If they did something to super duper impress the heavens, I guess. I smiled at that. My eyes scoured the street and landed on a simple booth. A handful of other kids were gathered around a short, portable table, scrawling on lanterns with calligraphy pens, clamped in fisted hands. Let's go. But I already made a lantern. Write to another dead person, then. With this overwhelming display of tact and political correctness, I raced towards a table, snatched a lantern from a smiling adult, and plopped down with my pen at the ready. Oh, who did he lose? Wait. Oh. Who are you writing to? None of your beeswax. I began to scroll characters on my lantern. The girl hovered over my shoulder, squinting judiciously at my jagged brushstrokes. Why is your handwriting so messy? It's not messy. I can't even read it. I whipped around, narrowing my eyes accusingly at her own lantern. Well, I searched for a fault, but not only was her lantern graced with perfect calligraphy, it also proudly bore a few elegant cherry blossoms. Well, yours looks girly. She raised a single eyebrow. It was a remarkably sophisticated expression for a 9-year-old girl to make. I am a girl. And there was nothing much to say to that. Yama, where have you been? It was as if Rui materialized out of thin air. I hadn't even noticed the rapid pitter-patter of her footsteps. Sorry, Rui. Jeez, could have told me. You were in the bathroom. Clearly displeased, Rui turned her back on me, but smiled at the other girl. Thanks for taking care of him. Surprisingly, the girl smiled back, easy as you please. Well, weren't they getting along just fine? Why did they have to give me such a hard time? Maybe it was a girl thing. I'm Misaki. You gonna make a lantern? Yep. How'd you make those flowers? They're real pretty. I can show you. Just like that, the two of them were friends. It took a little longer to warm me up. Yeah, it took a little longer to warm me up. But whatever the two of them set their minds to, they accomplished. They had always been that way. So fiery, so capable, so lovely. Two playful angels who, for some reason unfathomable to mankind, saw fit to hang around a bucket of depressing sludge like me. Why do you think that about yourself? Mr. Ryuta's voice seemed to come from far in the distance, faint but recognizable. I responded distractedly. You know me, I'm not useful or popular or particularly intelligent. Silence follows the statement, so I only continue. Our families were close. Misaki's mother would always throw these get-togethers at their house over the weekends or during special occasions. I remember him being really overwhelming at first. He was a lot like Misaki, only bigger and louder. Misaki's father would always throw these I thought family. I rarely saw Misaki's mother. The times I did see her, she was pretty distant. Besides that, I really don't remember much about her. At first, we were inseparable, Misaki and us. But then her father had lost his job, and we started seeing less of her. And eventually, they just left. No warning whatsoever. Even our parents tried to get in contact, no luck. It had been as if the Kazahayas had disappeared off the face of the planet. That must have been a really hard blow. Rui says that it had been. Honestly, I don't remember much of what followed. It all passed in a haze. Essentially, I felt abandoned. I had this idea that everyone close to me would leave me. I don't think I could cry. I only felt empty inside. But Rui says that it really was a terrible time. She says I didn't eat, didn't sleep, didn't even play any games with her. She says that I just looked like a ghost. Heck, probably became one. I don't remember it. But she says that one day... What the hell was that? I saw, like, a glass of water. Yama, what's wrong? Nope. Sorry, that's it. Sob story over. Are you sure? You do realize the entire point of therapy is to share your sob stories. It's not a burden, Yama. I'm glad to hear you out. I feel tired. I think I have to stop here. It's mainly an excuse, and a very effective one for therapists. Mr. Ryuta immediately nods in understanding. Thanks for confiding in me. Just know that what you felt was completely valid. I'm sorry you had that trauma. It's fine, I got over it. I'd like to go now, if that's okay. If you're sure. There's anything I can do for you? No, I'm okay. You sure you don't want a lollipop? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But thanks. I'd take a lollipop. But at least take this prescription. Prescription? Seriously? Then I actually looked at it. 1 bucket of ice cream to be eaten guilt-free. Oh. As far as the administration knows, this is a totally legitimate treatment. Ice cream is one of the core groups in the food pyramid, you know? He actually pulls a genuine laugh out of me. Thanks, Mr. Ryuta. Thanks for listening. Anytime. God damn it. I exit Mr. Ryuta's office in a considerably better mood than when I entered it. I actually don't feel tired. I feel rejuvenated. Seems like those memories have been weighing on me for a long time. Maybe therapy really will be beneficial. And on that note, I'm gonna cut it just because I think this has been going for a while. So, ba-da-ba-ba-dum-bye.